Clara Wynne woke with her heart already racing, the way it did when the past crept too close. The cabin was quiet, except for the low crackle of dying firewood and the wind dragging itself across the frozen valley. She hadn't heard a sound, but she felt it. That old instinct she trusted more than sleep. Someone was outside. She sat up slowly, pulling her coat around her shoulders. No one ever came this far north unless they were lost or running. Clara hadn't opened her door to a stranger since the winter she buried her husband beneath the snow line. Then came the knock again, weak, uneven, almost swallowed by the wind. "Please," a man's voice whispered, "I don't have much time." Clara stood frozen. Every hard lesson she'd learned screamed at her to stay still, stay safe, stay alone. The wilderness rewarded caution, kindness not always. But silence followed, too long. She reached for the rifle beside the door, lifted the latch, and spoke through the wood. "Take 3 steps back." A pause, then shuffling, a body giving up. When she opened the door, the cold rushed in, and so did the truth. A man lay half-kneeling in the snow, blood dark against his coat, breath shallow, eyes barely open. "I won't survive the night," he said. That was the moment Clara chose to live again. She dragged him inside, bolted the door, and kept the rifle close as she worked. His name was Mason Cole, a traveler, a mechanic, a man who'd trusted the wrong road. The wound in his side was deep but clean, treatable if she moved fast. Hours passed in quiet tension. Mason drifted in and out of sleep while the storm sealed the world shut. By morning, the fire burned strong, and so did he. "Didn't think angels lived this far from town," Mason said hoarsely. "I'm no angel, just stubborn." The days that followed blurred into something fragile and unfamiliar. Shared meals, soft laughter, long silences that didn't hurt. Mason fixed what was broken. Clara remembered how to breathe without guarding every breath. Neither spoke about leaving. On the 3rd morning, the storm lifted. Blue sky stretched endlessly, cruel in its beauty. The road would be passable by sunset. "So, this is where we part," Mason said quietly. Clara nodded. It made sense. Sense had kept her alive. But sense had also kept her alone. At the door, Mason hesitated. "You saved me," he said. "Not just my life." She didn't answer. She couldn't. He stepped into the snow, then turned back one last time. Clara stood in the doorway, hand on the frame, heart louder than the wind. She didn't know if she'd ever see him again, but for the first time in years, the cabin didn't feel like a grave. It felt like a beginning.